So this is a Sprite Major 6. It's going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. The hitch up procedure we go through here on site in person. In the front locker we have the gas bottle with gas valve on top, reverse thread fitment to the bottle, and your gas regulator up on the bulkhead. The yellow tap you see here is to isolate any gas going into the caravan itself. Side of the caravan we have the water pump connection that drops down into the aqua roll, and that will pick up the water and take it up into the van. On the side of the van you've got your heating vent for your heating and hot water, and that is when you're running the systems on gas. You'd need to remove this cover by simply pulling it off and opening up this vent, and that you do that every time before you operate the van on gas at all. You then got your mains lead coming into the side of the caravan. As you can see, we're connected to power here on site, and you've got your blue and your red battery terminals just inside the box there, where you the battery connections that connect to the top of the battery, quick release terminals, and then you've got the little fitting down the bottom here to allow you to tighten the battery into place. The motor mover and wheel nuts I'll come back to at the end of the video and demonstrate how that works. Then got the toilet locker on the side of the van, which I'll just show you inside of. The top part here that pulls out is the flush tank for the toilet system, so you'd need to fill this with 3 litres of water before use by taking off the cap, and you'd also put in there a cap full of the pink fluid. You fill it up to the level that you can see here, and that is the amount of water you'd need to have in there for the flush system. Below that you've got the toilet waste cassette itself. To release that out the side of the van you pull up the green handle at the bottom and pull the cassette towards you. You've got the neck here that turns out to allow you to tip the waste out of the cassette, and the green cap that you've got here has actually got a measure for the blue fluid, and with the blue fluid you'd essentially put 1 capful of that into the cassette itself. On the back of the cassette you've got the green button there that you press to release air from the cassette as you're tipping the waste away. The idea of that is to stop it spitting and splattering back at you. You then got your grey waste pipes on the side of the van, so what comes in the front must come out somewhere, or what goes in the front, sorry, must come out somewhere. So you'd have 2 pieces of grey waste pipe that push into the outside circles on here, just here and here, and they would drop down into your waste master itself, and that is where your waste water would come out. Back of the caravan, on either side, you have your wind down leg, as you can see, to stabilise the caravan while you're using it. You would never lift the caravan with the legs due to the fact it could damage the floor of the van. Like I said, they are just there for stabilising. On the side of the caravan also you have your 2 fridge vents. Now the 2 fridge vents there are there to allow hot air out the side of the fridge unit itself. You then have a 3-pin power connection to run power out to your awning, and at the front you have a gasket barbecue point and your front wind down leg. You also have one of those on the opposite side. Going inside the caravan now, take you through the systems on the inside. We've got water connected up and gas, etc., so I can show you everything working. First thing you do when you come in the caravan is turn on the power to the caravan. As you can see, I've now got power turned on, and we've got power coming from the power socket, which is indicated by this here. This is the lighting volt. And then to say we've got power coming from here to here, we've got a green light on the caravan. If the caravan was connected to the car, you'd get an orange light on the car and a green light on the caravan. You've got your leisure battery view level or levels here on the left hand side, and you've got the power coming from the car to the caravan on the right hand side. You can also press the view levels button or press the central button on each to bring up those volt levels. First of all, I'm going to just take you through the hob so you can see it's all working. I'm just going to stand the camera up to one side, just here, and you'll notice I'll hit the button and the hob will ignite. And the hob is ignited on gas. You can simply turn that off by turning the gas valves back round, and it'll isolate the gas supply to the hob. Grill, sorry. Again, very simple to use. You turn on the grill option at the top, press the ignite button, and as you can see, the grill will light up. Cooker. Take a few seconds to ignite. gas gets there. Any second now, we should have a flame. There we go. Slowly release the gas valve and then control the temperature on the dial as you normally would. Fridge system. You've got power on, just here. You've got your power sources, which you can select by pressing the button on the left hand side. So you've got 12-volt battery coming from the car, so the fridge works as a toolbox. From the car, so let me start again on that. The fridge will work as a cool box if you connect it to the car and you're towing down the road. You've got gas operation here, which at the moment is failed to ignite. I think just think it needs to get some gas through there, so you'd need to reset it, turn it off and try again. So when the fridge is lit on gas, you'll have a blue pilot light just here. 240 volts, so mains power, when you connect to mains power, will come up on this symbol in the centre. To control the temperature of the fridge on gas or electric, you'll use the button on the right hand side. To operate the heater behind next to the washroom on gas, you'd simply turn this dial round between 10 and 9, hold down the gas valve, and in this window just down here somewhere you'll see a pilot light, as you can see. And you slowly, once it's ignited, you'd slowly release the gas valve on top to show that the heater has ignited on, so you can see the igniter has ignited on gas. To control the temperature on gas, you have this dial on top, which you spin round to the 0 position to turn the gas off. If you wanted to use the heater on electric, you've got a dial just round the corner here. So you've got 500 watts, 1000 and 2000 watts coming down the side. Depending on what site you're on, you'll have one of these options of power available. And once you've got that selected, you'd need to ask on the site you're going to which one of these you can select. And then you can control the temperature of the heater on the dial just here on electric. The water heater, I'll explain to you in a moment how to actually fill the water system. But to work the water system on gas, you'd simply turn this dial around to the gas symbol. The green light behind here is the pilot light. And if a red light appeared next to it, it is actually failed to ignite. It self-ignites, as you can see. And then you can control the temperature on gas between 30, this is the water temperature, between 30 and 70 degrees. If you are going to shower on board the van, I'd advise you use the gas as a pilot, or the gas as a boost to make sure the water continuously stays warm. I think the gas bottle may have just run out that we're demonstrating the van with, so I do apologise. So to fill the water system, if you were to use the water system on board the van, underneath the seat on the far right hand side, you will actually go down in the front of the van, just behind that grey pipework that you can see there. You can just about see it in that picture. In the centre here, somewhere just about there, is the yellow drain down valve. Now when that valve is parallel with the floor, you'll actually be able to fill the water system on board the caravan. If it was pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat, it would actually completely drain down the water system on board the van. But to fill it, you'd have the valve in the position it's in now, which is parallel with the floor. You would then come over to each tap on board the caravan, open all the taps up on the hot side, which as you can see we've already done, so we've already got water on board the van, which should actually already be warm because I've had the water heater on, warming up the system. So you'll open all the taps up on the hot side, and then once you've done that, so that's the shower as well and the tap in the bathroom sink, you'd come over to the control panel and hit the water pump run, so the water started coming up inside the van. Once you've got water running out of every tap on board the caravan, you'd be able to turn each tap off so the water system is full. At that point then you could start warming the water on gas or electric. To warm the water on electric, which is one thing I haven't been through yet, underneath this seat again on the right hand side of the van at the front, you'll notice you've got several switches. You've got charger on, space heater, then you've got this one on the end, which is the electric water heater. Now the electric water heater you'd only turn on when you've got the water system full. Otherwise you'd have that turned off. The two other switches here, the space heater and the charger, you can actually leave on at all times. However, if you're leaving the caravan for a long period of time and not using it, I'd advise you press the button here, which shuts down the 12 volt systems on board the caravan and the 240 volt systems on board the van. So that's essentially your master shutdown. But as long as that button's pressed in, you have power coming to every part of the van. To operate the toilet, which is the last thing internally on the van I'm going to demonstrate, you'd come inside the van, inside the toilet area. You'd open up the waste flap, so you'd pull it towards the toilet seat itself, which is that white handle just there. And then to flush the toilet, you'd use the blue button on the right hand side of the loo to flush the toilet system itself. You will actually notice there's a black line there with what looks like a light in the end of it. That is actually a light to warn you when the toilet cassette is completely full on board the caravan and when you'll need to empty it. The next part of the video is all going to be done from the outside, and that will actually be a motor move demonstration. So I'm just going to put a temporary battery on there just to demonstrate the systems for you. So to operate the motor mover, you'll very simply, you'd normally use your leg winder, but just for purpose of handover, I'm going to use a drill, as you can see. So you put your leg winder on, you'd wind the motor mover onto the wheel when you get it the right way. So you'd wind it on, he says. So you'd wind it up so the motor mover, little red tab on the side, is in the green. At that point, you'd go around to the opposite side of the van. You'd turn on the 12 volt power in the locker here on the side, as you can see. So you turn the red key on through 90 degrees to turn the power on. At that point then, you come back around to the other side and turn on the controller for the motor mover itself. You'd simply do that by pressing the power button up on the side, and in theory we should have forwards, backwards, turn, turn, very hard to show you in the video as I'm sure you can imagine, turn and turn. Then you've got reverse coming backwards, as you can see. To turn the motor mover back off, you've got the power switch on the side, which you turn off on the side here. The control will be down on the left hand side of the door as you go in. You'll pull the handbrake on. Sorry, you'll disengage the handbrake first. Hence why it's probably struggling to move a little bit, so we'll turn the controller back on so you can see it all working. So we'll turn on the control again. Then you'll have forwards, backwards, turn, 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 and turn. And we'll put it back against the fence, just so it's ready for you when you come and collect the van. At that point then, you could turn off the controller, put the handbrake back on, which I didn't take off the first time, just testing to see if you were watching there. So you pull the handbrake on, lock it into place, disengage the motor mover from the wheel, wait till it completely stops, and then you go back round to the opposite side of the van, and you turn the power back off to the mover itself. If you have any further questions on the Sprite Major 6, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you very much. Bye bye.